We are psyched to be done with the pontoon project, but we still have a lot of work to do, and the Bering Sea ice pack is still frozen up to a mile offshore. On the one hand, it's great we have time to finish the rest of the projects. On the other hand, the historically cold spring temperatures could put us in for a historically late thaw. We can't make money until the ice is gone, and it can sometimes linger deep into June. The early summer has the best mining weather. If we're iced in, we won't be able to make the gold to pay for our pontoon investment, and our crew won't be able to support their families. The weather is the ultimate boss in this game. All we can do is sit on shore and wait for it to tell us when to get to work. We're picking up Dan's brother-in-law, David. Has he had a long flight?
Well, I bet you he's had 16 hours of no sleep.
Yeah, these poor souls that come here. You know, he's coming from Michigan, which is probably just in the throes of a beautiful...
He said it was 80.
Warm spring.
80 degrees.
To extremely bitingly cold, frozen tundra of the north. Welcome to Nome!
But David had...
There he is.
And Merc Pocket.
All right, there's the man.
There's the man himself. Look at that. Look at all those tools.
Hold on, that's not him.
Never mind.
It's just... This is like the David crew where every guy shows up looks like he's from Michigan.
He's got a short window of time.
Dude.
I mean, unless there's an early thaw. Unless the ice all clears out by May 20th.
I think we've missed the window for early thaw.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we're gonna have an early thaw. I don't care what it looks like out there. I think complacency is our enemy. Yeah, it affects David quite a bit because he's only here till the 15th.
Yeah.
No one needs the gold more than David. David flew all the way from Michigan and only has a month to get on the gold because he has to get back in time for the birth of his first child. If he comes home empty-handed, his family could be in a tight spot. He's taking a big risk just to come up here. Welcome to Nome, David. How do you feel about being back here?
It's gonna be good.
Exciting.
I'm excited.
I think we're gonna just hit the ice pack. And then there's like, we can go walk out to the edge of the ice.
Yeah, let's do it.
Berg hopping.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of attitude I like, not these like questions, like, are we gonna die?
Well, I mean, none of the locals are out there.
Dude, Emily's like a schoolyard bully. Emily's like, let's go walk out to the edge of the melting ice. I'm like, isn't that dangerous? She's like, shut up. You scared? It's May 15th. We can't even see the ocean yet. It's just pure ice.
When I was flying in, I looked out and I could see nothing but miles of ice. And I kind of was in a panic. I was like, I'm here for 5 weeks. I might not dive.
Since we're not mining anytime soon, we figured now is as good a time as any to go have some fun. I just would like everyone to take a moment and acknowledge how stylish I am. Hasn't arrived.
This is it, though. This is where it's gonna break off.
We are 0.82 miles offshore.
Is that good? I mean, oh. I didn't think about. Oh, I think the crack's widening. Okay, how do you get out?
Dan, just jump off of that, land there. Woo!
Come on, I got you! I got you! I got you!
I didn't realize David could just like bicep curl, man.
Okay, fun time is over. Back to work.
Pontoon project is done, so we can move on to just regular pre-season stuff.
That's awesome.
It's more than awesome.
The first thing we have to do is build new mounts for the outboards to drop them closer to the water.
How about that? Okay, this is about pretty close. This goes here, and then our bracket deal will weld on right here. This new looking piece was there last year, and we cut it off because we thought it's pointless. Why do we have this extra metal? And then we went and dug it out of a snowbank. Remember this? A very deep snowbank. And then now we're putting it back on. We're welding it on the exact same spot because we need to have structure down here to remount our outboard. So That would have been a nice one to leave alone. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we broke it and now we're fixing it. Eyes. Cool thing about this welder is you can just turn it up right here. A little hotter, there we go.
Really quick, just wanted to give a special thanks to Lincoln Electric. I've been using Lincoln welders for 5 years since I got my first Ranger. Gold mining is a business of metal and dirt. And while we're experts at digging around in the dirt, Lincoln's always had our back when it comes to metal, whether it's steel or aluminum.
Welding pattern is important. Don't weld everything on one side because it'll kink. It'll kink it over. Eyes. Clamp it from the bottom. And then let's do one right here so we have a little flat bar. Okay, so everything is in plane. There it is. It's all tacked up. It's all clamped up. It's ready for me to burn it out, I think. Woo! It's definitely dirty. All those little speckles, those little scratchy stuff is dirty. The very beginning is smooth, that's good. And then over here, it's things that are not aluminum are inside of the weld. And that's just what we expect, is old metal. As the aluminum corrodes, it creates these little tunnels. People call it pitting, full of salt. But I'll just weld over it. Cool, that weld turned out a lot better.
We've guessed where we think the outboards need to be based on our estimated water line. The reason for the extra section of metal is that the outboards need to be set much lower after the pontoon project.
Big ol' weld. Delete that. Best weld ever. Woo! This is the first time actually putting it together. If this fits, then we're gonna commit a little more and we're gonna weld some pieces that hold these two together. We're committed. It's a little late in the game to be talking about like, it's getting pretty serious, think we're actually committed here. Yeah, we're committed. Also, we don't have any other backup plans, so this has to work. Okay, this part goes to the outboard inside of here. So if you go look in these holes, here's neutral position, and then let's go full highest position, right there. That's how high up the outboard can go. If we want to go down, hold the pin, lower it down. Maybe right there is good. There. And now it can be bolted up in the low position. I think it works great.
Spoiler alert, it didn't work great. The problem was, when we designed the outboard lifter, we didn't account for the trim of the motor. We often need to trim the outboard up to get the prop out of the water. The angle of the lifter was too steep, and when we trimmed the outboard up, the steering ram would hit metal.
You tilt the outboard, the steering ram would just run into this or this.
So we had to adjust the outboard to sit higher and further back from the dredge. Unfortunately, that forced the props too high, and they won't be deep enough in the water to work well. We spent hours just messing around with different positions, and even considered rebuilding the entire mounds. Thankfully, our answer came in the form of a fellow gold miner. Season's almost upon us, and just feels like this outboard project, it's really getting in our way, taking forever. Boys stayed late last night, and I called us, they said they had an idea.
So this looks like you chopped this or lowered it.
We flipped it upside down.
You flipped it upside down. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this piece is upside down,
and then this was trimmed right here.
In flipping this piece upside down, it lowered us about 5 inches, I guess. And then this piece, we flipped it to revert us back to the proper bolt holes. So having these two plates allowed us to swap.
So basically, like, the whole problem was
double
solved by turning things upside down.
Yeah. We owe Isaac a hug. Well,
I
think
said
a
I'd buy
beer.
him a beer. I didn't tell him that though.
So our,
But you know,
yeah,
we had to make sure it was gonna work before I was like, "Yeah, I'll buy you a beer."
A hug and a beer. We should make him choose, just to test.
Both and he gets the beer
And
if I
the
get to
hug.
hug him.
Our fellow colleague, gold miner Isaac, who works next door, came over and his brain started seeing all of these moving parts, and he just looked at it and quickly said, well, why don't you just turn it upside down? And so then he vanished into a mist. Our guesstimate of our water line is right here. Here's the ocean. That puts our water line somewhere in this region. Not bad.
Sounds like a tired old man.
Right.
Oh, beautiful.
Woo, yeah. Oh man, it is just enough room to do full tilt boogie,
I know, right?
as my dad likes to say.
Right. And if you look at the steering rams, there's nothing hidden there.
Nice.
And our fittings, the hoses will be coming over here, which is tight but clear.
All that remains is for us to put the boat in the water and see where the actual water level is. I mean, that's going to be the ultimate proof in the pudding.
What we have here is we've done everything short of major open heart surgery.
Yeah.
So we've got it assembled in a nice position. We haven't destroyed anything or restarted back at the beginning. If this doesn't work, then we got to take drastic measures.
Now that the outboards are on, we check the status of the sea ice to gauge how much time we have before the dredge needs to be ready to go. I mean, it is a little solid looking.
Yeah.
There's a blue streak out in the horizon. That's open water.
What I see is a lot of thick ice. May 19th. I think we thought the earliest thaw would be 20th.
Last year it was a total shock because it was May 20th. So we were like, you know what? We're not going to be caught unawares this year. We're going to bust it out super early. And as soon as you feel like you have the ocean figured out, she decides to shake it up on you a little bit. Now, that being said, it could still be a pretty early thaw. I really believe that. I mean, you know, record snowfall, you got tons of pressure on the rivers as things melt. I could still push things out. It's obviously not the point of thaw that I would be hoping for at this juncture.
What's the latest thaw you've seen?
June 10th?
When do you leave?
June 15th.
Yeah.
We have maybe 5 days of diving. That's,
Worst case scenario.
That sucks. That would be a bummer.
Divers get paid in something we call crew share. Contrary to like what a salary or an hourly wage would be, crew share means that we split the boat's take between the owners and the divers. If the divers are able to get and stay on the gold, it's big money for them. I've seen guys earn more than $6,000 a day diving on the Eroica. But if we can't mine, they can't earn a single ounce. I was worried about David and his ability to get paid this season. But I was also a little glad the ice was still thick, because raising the deck out of the water had some unintended consequences on our suction system that had to be addressed.
Dan extended the chain so it sits lower. We think the water line is going to sit right above the jets, which is perfect, right? You need to be under the water line for it. Mm-hmm. I was looking at the angle of the lay flat here, and there is no good angle between right here and where the water comes out of the boat.
Since the new pontoons put our deck 2 feet higher out of the water, we had to lower the jetting system by 2 feet. That means there's no longer a straight shot between our pump and jets, and that the lay flat is going to kink. In layman's terms, kinked lay flat means no sucky sucky, and no sucky sucky means no gold. Yeah, wow, that would have been a real bummer to discover once in the water, that we had to take the boat out again and redo everything. Can we change it on the pump end? Pull like your life depends on it, men. Heave! Heave! Yeah, we're making good progress.
Is this a Chinese finger trap?
We're not, I'm just messing with them. Yeah, that's a bit of an angle.
That pipe is really telling us the truth.
Well, the truth is hard to accept sometimes. If we want it to be straight shot to the jets without any bends at all, we're 2 feet off.
This project is now really big. We thought we could just cut it off, re-weld it on. We're gonna do that, plus cut off the other barbed fitting, plus add 3 pieces.
The tack you're going to be before you stop, you don't want it to be too short. And
Okay, we
you're
gotta
gonna
feather
have
the
just a little
tack.
blip, and
Got
you don't
it.
want it to be too.
What are you guys doing?
We're just proing it up over here.
We're going to welding school. We got all this pipe. And I think when it comes to welding, everybody's doing it. You get on YouTube and you say, how do you do that again? And somebody's gonna lay on the floor, because that's what they were doing in the video. And I don't have one of those cool helmets with a piece of wood on the side. Look at that. Oh yeah, she's good.
Look at me, I'm a pipe welder.
We
get so much hate from
people are gonna just
good welders. Ooh, don't look at that one.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think that
On a
was?
scale of 1 to 10, we're getting close to getting on the scale. Eyes. Eyes. Eyes.
I wasn't making that sound before because there's no argon on.
Okay, check this out. So we just hacked this whole thing together. I go like, hey man, let's go get some cold beers. I go to turn off the argon and it's already off. And I'm like, did you turn it off? Did you turn it off?
I was looking at Dan's welds. I'm like, man, he's not very good at this. Okay, is it on now? No, it's not.
Open it up.
I'm turning it on. There we go. It's official. I turned it off when we were moving the welder over, so.
Thanks, Alex. Why'd you turn it off? Okay.
safety first.
For real though, you don't turn it off to move. You cat.
I thought, well, okay.
So we'll see how welding goes with argon.
Although it's supposed to be some carbon dioxide, but what else?
Is that what it's supposed to sound like? Sounds kind of weird.
Sounds like the 4th of July.
Sounds like. That'll do. I'll weld it like that.
Yeah, that looks nice.
I welded all these 3 seams. It points right down through the deck. Everything's perfect. So it turns out welding pipe's actually really easy. So Dana and David just called Alex and they said, come down to the end of the jetty. They wouldn't tell us why. So either they spotted your mom or, no, not your mom, the viewer's mom, or something exciting. Oh wow, yeah, there's water. Oh.
We got water.
Oh, look at it. It's so beautiful. In the last 12 hours,
Not there.
it's cleared out so much ice. We could be like dredging right
Darn
there.
tootin'.
We could walk out to the edge. The river coming out, dude. That current's gonna bring all this ice gushing out. Then the harbor's gonna open up and we're gonna get the boat in the water and it'll float beautifully.
Dude, it's happening, man. It is happening. Like, at this rate, 5 days? Did you see that?
We gotta go.
And just like that, we're in a race against the clock. This time last week, it looked like the ice would never leave. But suddenly, there are signs of breakup everywhere. Look at that, man. It's breakup time. We got a real like ice traffic jam right here. When you see something like this, all this broken up ice in the river and this fast moving water, you know the mining season is upon us. We probably have a week left at most before we can get a diver underwater. We haven't had the time to complete other smaller, critical projects. We need to install our new air compressor, replace the sluicebox metal, and a dozen other things. At least I know David's happy.
In that moment, I thought, holy cow, this actually is gonna happen, and maybe I won't go home with my tail tucked between my legs. Maybe I can actually make a little bit of money and save face a little bit. It's so easy for people to look at you kind of like you're crazy, and you're almost expected when you grow up to have a normal job. You settle down, you do the 9 to 5, stay in your lane, work for the next 35 or 40 years. You kind of get that look like you're a salmon going the wrong direction, and everyone's kind of like, all right, man, good luck. I can't wait to say I told you so when you get back. So when we saw that blue water, it was kind of like a reassurance that maybe we're not all as crazy as everybody thinks.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. So this season might have been filmed a year ago, but if you want to know what's going on right now, you gotta sign up for our weekly newsletter. The link is in the description if you're watching on YouTube, and it's in the comments if you're on Facebook. So we've been writing the newsletter for over a year, and we've just had so much fun just sharing stories with you guys and thoughts and just talking about our lives up in Nome. It comes directly from our emails, like whoever's writing it, and you can just press reply and get in touch with one of us and let us know your thoughts and dreams and all of your feelings. Don't forget to sign up for a newsletter, because once you do, you get 10% off your very first purchase at BeringSeaPaydirt.com. And you can buy our gold from our sluice box either by the gram in a vial, or you can get it in paydirt form and pan it yourself.
Looking up, I could say heaven sent